With the help of the private sector, 165 volunteers, and 8 full-time staff, Power to Be has improved the quality of life to over 4,000 families. The demand is growing significantly, and as a result, their wait lists are also growing. So one of the things that we've endeavored to do is, as part of the expansion strategy in Lower Mainland, as some of you know, is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Actually, we're leaving in less than 2 weeks. Tim's coming, my wife Chantal is also coming, and our goal is to raise $150,000 for the expansion of Power to Be in the Lower Mainland. We've already raised $130,000. Thank you. And that's among 12 climbers, the 12 climbers who are going to Kilimanjaro. They're all paying their own expenses, so every dime is going to Power to Be directly. Anyway, Tim will tell you more about Power to Be, and please join me in welcoming Tim.
It was very inspirational. I can't explain it, but when you're sitting on top of a mountain with no one around and you're sort of thinking about your life and where you're going, sometimes things just arrive. And when I left that experience, I really wanted to go out and start something on my own, and I wanted to use the outdoors as a therapeutic tool to enhance the lives of those that I really enjoyed working with, and that was kids with disabilities. And we did 4,000 volunteer hours last year. We have 170 volunteers in our programs. That includes our directors and our advisory board. We also will have served about 2,900 service days this year, and we'll almost double next year to 4,000. I'd also like to say, I think, again, it goes back to great people. During a time of recession, we've continued to grow. I can't answer the formula of why we've been successful, all of it, but I do know what has been important is that we've been able to tell our message successfully. We've been able to recruit great people that build great organizations, and believe me, I take a very small amount of credit for what we've done in the time that we've moved forward, and it's something that I have a great deal of respect. I never would have thought 10 years ago I'd be sitting in this room talking to each of you more or less about our successes than a lot of the challenges, and which closes out in our challenges, and it's real, and it's not just for us, it's a variety of organizations, and that is that waiting lists continue to grow, and the cutbacks in government are huge. And I just want to allude to the fact, when you think of in our population today, I think it's about 370,000 families in some sort living in the Lower Mainland and Vancouver Island live with some sort of disability. 1 in 6 of those live below the poverty line. And we service a lot of those kids below the poverty line. And if you think of the little bit of funding that Litchfield has for a kid living with autism, those funding directly goes to occupational therapy, physiotherapy, really important needs for these kids, but the costs are exuberant. Our programs come in at about 1/10 of that cost, and for the most part we waive every fee because the families can't afford them. And because of that, we know that we've been able to fill those needs outside of the regular healthcare support that these individuals need. Was driving his car, young guy, and was hit by a drunk driver. He suffered a severe head injury, in which during that time lost his, I guess you could say, his girlfriend. He lost his friends, he lost his memory, he lost his job. He kept his family, which was super important, but he lost the ability to live his life in the way that he wanted to live it. And we were hired or brought in, shall we say, as they always refer to this, his mom, and I can use this quote because his mom will say it, as sort of the last resort. And I built a relationship with Sandy over the last 10 years that I've seen a young man who was a professional skier, a ski patroller, and who wanted to learn to ski again, and who fell and fell and fell and fell and fell, yet every day that we would go up, he would consistently just try harder and harder and harder. And there was frustration sometimes with me, and he was hard to get up in the morning, because if you know anything about frontal lobe injuries, motivation is a huge thing, as well as personalities. And Sandy's the kind of person that would swear or say an inappropriate comment, not by meaning it, but just it was the way he communicated. So often being isolated from those regular day opportunities was because of his personality. So over the years, I've been lucky to say that with hard work, Sandy has come through our program as a volunteer. We've actually just recently hired him with a disability sort of funding to support him in our program. He is a mentor for people living with brain injuries. He still has his challenges, but I would like to say that he has his life back. Families in the Lower Mainland next year. One of our donors is building an accessible lodge with his own money outside of Vancouver, in which we will start to access our programs more effectively. And in doing so, the 2010 Olympics are obviously right around the corner. I don't need to say much about them, but just to say that the Paralympians are following shortly afterwards. And if there's any time right now to be rising to the top and providing better services and giving kids with disabilities an opportunity to shine like those superheroes, it's now. And I can only hope that when you leave this room today, for those that your young kids that are ski racers, I hope you only mentor them to give back and support other skiers. Whistler's got a great disabled ski program. I've been involved with it for a large period of time, and it's time to start now. And I think that kids of today that have those opportunities are mentors of tomorrow. And I just want to say thanks a lot for having me today.